everyone, and welcome back again to my channel. My name is Gloria and thanks for clicking on this video. We're going to continue our conversation about living in Canada. If you haven't seen the last video, I would encourage you to go and click on that video and watch it. The topic for today is working in Canada, dealing with workmates, and all you need to know. So you are a new immigrant to Canada and you've just landed your first job. Congratulations. But how do you go about dealing with your colleagues here in Canada? Just sit back, relax, and don't go anywhere. We'll be starting right now. So working in Canada takes a lot, especially if you're coming from a different country to a place like Canada. Most persons, they find a job before they come into Canada, while others just come to Canada and then they have to start looking for a job. In either case, you apply for a job, you get interviewed, and then you start working. Please know that in every organization here in Canada, and I believe this happens everywhere, there are rules and regulations that one needs to abide by as an employee. The one thing that Canada takes seriously is a workplace harassment. I'll dwell more about this so that you kind of get to know and understand what you can and cannot do, what you can say or cannot say here in this country, Canada, and so you don't get yourself into trouble. And also there will be a true life story that happened to me here in this country that I would love to share. So stick around, please don't go anywhere. As you watch this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and let's just go ahead. So you start your job, you go through your workplace, whatever the rules that govern your organization, and then there's this particular one we talked about, which is the workplace harassment. So if you are new to Canada, you need to learn or understand this very well. Most persons are also looking for that position that you have applied to. There are many people who are from this country that can do the same job as you can, but you got chosen. So you have, and I noticed that most persons who are from where I come from, they have to work extra hard to prove that they are better off for or better suited for that position that they were hired for. And that is why you see that they work hard. I know many of my friends who are from back home in Nigeria and they work in organizations here in this country and they want to put in their best because they know what they're worth, right? So when it comes to working with your colleagues, because that's one of the things that I noted on my topic, when working with your colleagues, you have to be careful because there's certain things that you might feel like it's okay to say to your colleague, but then again, it might be they might say that or reason that this is really wrong, and then you get reported to the manager and then it gets to HR, and then unfortunately some persons have been fired from their job because of that. Let me quickly use this opportunity to tell you a short story about what happened to me being a new immigrant who just came, and I got my first job and I didn't know, nobody told me about this, but now you're learning about this so that you will be informed and you don't fall victim. So there's this particular day, I'm the type that is very, very, I'm an extrovert. So I would come to work and I would say to my colleagues, hi, how are you doing today? I love your hairstyle, or I love your shirt, or I just like your shoe or something like that. And they will be like, okay. This particular day, my colleague had a different hairstyle on, and I said to her, oh, I like this hairstyle. And then she looked at me and said, so does that mean the one I had on last week wasn't good? And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. She said, no, that's what you mean. That's what you mean. And I thought it was something that would have just died there, but they reported me to the manager. And I got a query for that, and they told me that I can't just tell my colleague that things like that. Those are things that are personal. So you can't just walk up to your colleague and just say to them that I like your eye pencil, or I like your lipstick, or I like your hair. Some people will take it the right way. Some persons will react negatively to it. So you want to be very careful with what you say, how you say it, and how you're perceived. Now, another thing I want to really stress on here is this, because this is a country where we have people that what's the word I'm looking for now? They want to be um they want to be addressed differently. And what do I mean by that? You could see a lady in front of you, but she identifies as a guy. You could see a guy in front of you in your workplace, and then they identify as a lady. So you want to be careful, especially if you work in the banking industry, for finance industry, for example. Maybe you're an advisor, you're a bank teller or something like that. You address people in third term. So you say they. You don't just say she, her, Mr., Mrs. You know, where I come from, when I worked back in Nigeria, in one of the banks in Nigeria, I would say Oga, sir, madam, but that doesn't work here in Canada. What you need to do is be careful. If you cannot say she, just say they. Or if you're speaking to a man in front of you and you assume that they're a man, just say they, refer to they. Or you could ask the customer, how would you like to be identified? And that way they can tell you how they want to be identified. Quickly tell you something that happened one day while I was updating a customer's profile. The person seated opposite to me was actually a lady. And then I felt that they were a lady and I just updated as a lady. And then the customer looked at me and said, excuse me, could you change that? And I'm like, oh, so you don't want to be presumptuous. You don't want to assume here in this country when you're working in your office or wherever you are working. You don't want to assume anything. Just ask questions. Sir, or excuse me. Sorry, you don't use sir. I've said that before. How would you like to be identified? If you're talking, you talk in the past, in the past tense. So you're saying they came into the bank to do something. You cannot say she came to the bank to do something. So you're going like third person, right? So I wanted to bring that in because a lot of immigrants who have come into this country have struggled with this, working with their colleagues in this country. So I just wanted to make sure that I brought out the most salient point. And I think I saw something on Facebook. I don't know how true it is, but sorry, it was on Twitter. And there was this particular guy who said something, and in my opinion, was nasty about his colleague. And you know what? He got fired because you can't just open your mouth and talk anyhow in this country. You have to be careful. So, like I said, I don't want this video to be too long. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video up to this point. My name is Gloria. I'm a YouTuber based in the province of Canada, and I love to share contents like this about experiences about my life here in this country as a new immigrant. Share experiences about others as well. So if you like content like this, definitely hit that red subscribe button and turn on your notification bell icon so that you will be the first to know when I upload new videos. My videos are uploaded once a week on Sundays. And guys, please share this video to your friends, your loved ones, family members, those who are looking for information like this about moving to Canada and settling in Canada. In the weeks to come, we'll continue to talk about life here in this country and everything you need to know. So stick around. Don't go anywhere, please, guys. Stay tuned. We'll bring another video next week. Until then, guys, please don't forget to watch the videos that pop up on your screen. And until I see you in my very next video, stay safe and bye-bye.